All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Speak to the Beak. I am Tim the Ferds, and of course, I'm joined by Keith Hernandez because it's a Monday. Hopefully, if you're listening to this on Monday, which means you know it's a baseball pod day. So, Keith, how we doing?
Doing fantastic. Great day of baseball. Mets split the series with the Padres. So, can't ask for much more than that. That was
You're
good enough for
thriving.
me.
Yeah. You're not suffering a heat stroke. Currently 90 plus something degrees over here out
Yeah.
in Long
Well,
Island.
definitely was this morning and late afternoon when we were out there playing football, but now we're good.
Now we're good is right. Um, So here we go. We got some good things for you guys today. All right, we're going to talk about a pretty big, I guess, part of the game that no one really talks about: foreign substances and pine tar and spin rate and all that other good stuff. Um, I'm a nerd, so I like stuff like that, where you get to look at people's stats. Luckily, Keith has me covered there, so that's great. Jesse Winker hit 3 home runs again today. This guy's insane.
Beast.
The Reds
Yep.
are starting to wake up a little bit. Cedric Mullins doesn't know how to not get a hit, so like, all right, we'll talk about that. Team USA qualified for the Olympics, and as of course, of always, we're gonna give you our beat the streak picks. Random waiver wire picks for your fantasy baseball team and a series to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm ready. Keith's ready.
I'm ready.
I know you're ready. But once again, the usual. So beakbrands.com. Check it out. If you're on the YouTube page here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, whatever. If you are an Apple or Spotify listener, rate and review, subscribe, follow, all the other good stuff. And follow us on social media at Beak Brands, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. I think we even have a LinkedIn page. So, like, listen, if you're a LinkedIn guy, you can follow Big Brands there. All right. So, that's kind of what we got, and we need you guys to do. So, Keith, we're going to start off. We haven't done a Keith's Corner in a while. It's been like 2 months. But you're going to kick us off today. We're talking about foreign substances and spin rate. So, why don't you first give the people a little insight to, I guess, the topic as a whole, if they're
Yeah.
new to this? And then you
So,
could
so
dive deep into the rest of the cool stuff you got.
yeah, cool. So like pine tar's been used around major leagues for pitchers' advantages for grip and added spin to fastballs, breaking balls, changeups, all that good stuff. For about 100 years now. And it's always been illegal. It's always been a rule in rule like 6.02 or whatever, no foreign substances or whatever. All that, stuff and those old rule books that nobody looks at. But it's never been like super enforced by umpires unless it's like obvious. If you remember Michael Pineda on Sunday Night Baseball getting called with a whole bunch of pine tar on his neck,
Guy is like
another time
dripping
get it,
pine tar.
yeah, injury, yeah, exactly, stuff like that. But now the last couple of years, it's been like, with the Astros cheating, with sign stealing, people are cracking down on all types of cheating. Uh, um, so now we got Major League Baseball and umpires trying to take more of a stand, trying to get suspensions. Gallegos on the Cardinals had a dark spot on his hat. Really looked more like dirt than pine tar, but they threw him out of the game. I think it was Joe West who threw him out of the game, like last
Of
week or
course it
whatever.
was Joe West who threw him out of
Yeah,
the
of course it was Joe
game.
West, but still stupid. And if you go on Twitter, if you're a big MLB Twitter guy, you'll see all these accounts of pitchers, like people posting videos of pitchers digging in their glove, grabbing their hat, something on their pants or whatever. Thursday night, every pitch, Yu Darvish was digging in his glove for pine tar or some type of Vaseline substance that helped him get more grip or more spin on the ball. Um, so one pitcher who's been a very big advocate for uh, pine tar
I
and
know where this is
legalization of pine
going.
tar is Trevor Bauer. This guy sells legalized pine tar t-shirts on like his online store. And he's had various podcasts and other stuff on his YouTube channel of, talking about the benefits of this for pitchers. Um, so now with the league starting to crack down, I'm sure guys like Bauer And sorry, Yankee fans, Garrett Cole, you know, I didn't even mention this before. Garrett Cole was mentioned in this in a report from a fired Angels clubhouse manager who shared text messages with Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, I think Max Scherzer, a couple other guys. Um, Apparently, he got this substance, a pine tar-like substance, from a former Angels closer in like the 90s or whatever, and he's been passing it down to Angels pitchers and even visiting pitchers for the past 20 years. And he finally got caught by the MLB, and the Angels had to fire him in, I believe, 2019 or 2020, I think March 3rd, 2020, I believe he was fired, and then 2021 in January. All the reports came out with all of his text messages. Garrett Cole told him he was in a sticky situation. So I think that's enough evidence right there. So teams are giving their pitchers notice, who I'm sure managers know who's using and who's not. Um, you know, don't get caught using pine tar because you're probably going to catch a 20-game suspension and we can't miss you for 20 games. So Bauer first start out there since all this like league-wide notice. His spin rate on his fastball was the lowest it's ever been since 2019. In 2019, he had a 4.5 ERA. Um, the year average, he's been averaging 2,835 rotations per minute on his fastball. That average went all the way down to 2,612 with a minimum spin rate of 2,346. So that's
That's
under
drastic.
2,500
Yeah.
is like below league average. You're not getting any movement on that. Um, the velocity is going to be lacking. And he got hit around hard today. And not only hit around hard, he had no control. He walked 4 guys in 6 innings. Um, so that's a really, really scary drop for him.
And to
If
cut you off for a
I'm
quick
sure,
second, I'm sorry.
yeah,
That was his problem when like he played for the Diamondbacks. Like they traded him to
yeah,
Cleveland. Like he walked a lot of guys,
hmm
and he's kind of cleaned that up. But now, first start back without with the league wide notice, so whenever he walks 4 or 5 guys. So
exactly.
just throwing that out there.
Yep. And then now we're going to Garrett Cole, who got rocked by the Rays on Thursday. His yearly average is sitting at uh, right at about 2,500. He was down on his average 116 rotations per minute. So his average for that Thursday game was 2,400, which was also the lowest he's been since September 2019. So,
I'm sensing a theme.
yeah, we're sensing a little theme here. The minimum he the lowest spin rate he reached was 2,000 rotations per minute on that fastball. That's not what you think of when you think of Garrett Cole. You think of high spin on that fastball, 98 plus up in the zone. You're not thinking, like, if he's not getting that hard rotation and that nice little two-seam movement he gets on that fastball, he's gonna get hit around just like he did in that game on Thursday. And then even Clayton Kershaw was down a little bit, down 55 rotations on his fastball, 70. Oh, sorry, that was on the slider, 71 on the fastball, and 140 down on the curveball. And the curveball is his signature pitch. Um, without the same movement, it's going to be different.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right, where do you stand on pitchers allowed to use pine tar?
The I don't think they should be allowed to use pine tar because that's like, I think it's too much. Between the added grip plus the added spin, I think it's too much. But I think there has to be some type of substance that could be regulated by the league that everyone can agree on to enhance grip.
Well, isn't that what the
Because
rosin bag is for?
I don't think the rosins. I've used rosin before. It's not enough. I've used liquid chalk before, which I don't even know if is illegal. Um, but like, I mean, it's chalk is almost the same. It's pretty much the same thing as rosin. I think rosin's even a little more stickier. The chalk, when I use chalk, it dried my hand, so that I use it more on like hot days like today,
Yeah.
and my palm is sweating the entire time. It keeps my hands cool. I don't really sweat that much. Keeps everything dry, nice and
All
just
right.
move along with everything. Um, so I mean, with the amount of guys that throw 98, 100 plus, whatever, how many guys can actually control it? Like Miguel Castro cannot control it. Jose
No.
Alvarado cannot control it. Like guys like that just have no idea where those high velocity pitches are going. Um, you have to keep batters safe. So I'm sure batters would want pitchers that have more control about where it's going to go, but none of them want them going over the line to where pitchers have an unfair advantage.
So I don't really know where I stand on this. I think,
Yeah.
because there are hitters that are like, yeah, I don't want to get hit in the face at 100 miles an hour, and then there are other hitters that are like, no, f you, you're cheating. So like me
Yeah.
as a fan, I'm just like, well, I mean, I guess I could see both sides of it. But if I had to pick a side, I would go with no, they shouldn't be allowed to use it, but for a different reason than what I think you're going after.
Okay.
This year, league wide, the batting average is below 240.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a problem for a couple reasons. One, the hitting approach is different in general, right? 3 true outcomes, I hate it, whatever. But now on top of that, these guys are throwing pitches that literally nobody can hit. So like even when you do put a good swing out there, you like roll the ball to first base if you're lucky. So you're not going to get a hit. And obviously, I mean, listen, when the ground pitches, I look forward to a 1-0 win because that's just how the Mets operate for the most part.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching a random game, like I don't want to see you strike out like 10 guys and the other guy strike out 10 guys and the score be 0-0
Yeah,
because
no.
that's boring as hell to me. Like for teams that I don't like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you know, when we pick the series of the week, I like picking the Blue Jays because I know they're going to show up and crank home runs. But you also just killed the ball for the batters. So now the pitchers have an even more significant
Even more
advantage.
of an advantage, yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to be like one way or the other. I feel like if you're going to let them use pine tar, you got to bring back the other ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or even the ball from before the big juice ball or whatever. Those are fine.
Yeah.
Between like 2013, 2017, like those are fine. I feel like ever since like the 2017 playoffs, like none of those games have been like your classic like 3-2, 3-1
No.
playoff game. Everything's just who's gonna hit more home runs.
Yep.
It's like ridiculous. I don't get it. So I mean, hopefully there's some type of change. I just remembered like I think 2 or 3 years ago, there's a pitch in the dirt that Yadier Molina blocked, and it got stuck to his chest
Yep.
protector because he had massive amounts of pine tar on his chest protector. So that's another thing. There could be pitchers cheating, but they're not the ones with the pine tar. It's the catcher.
Yeah.
They got it somewhere. They rub it a little bit on the ball and they throw it back.
As an ex-catcher, you're pretty much always covered in crap. So
Yeah.
you know, like doesn't matter what it is. Like I didn't like pine tar on my back because it was like sticky and nasty, and it got in my glove, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But like, no, they put other stuff on you. Like, how do you think? Like, some of them, like, obviously, it's a lot of talent to block balls in the dirt, but like, you know, you might
Yeah.
have something on there that helps the ball
You
stay
gotta-
in front of you. You know, so like, everyone's doing it. So why can't
Everyone's
the
doing
pitcher
it.
do it? So that's the other
There you
reason
go.
why I bring it up. But I don't know. We got to monitor the pine tar thing and see if we get any suspensions out of it and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Keep looking at Baseball Savant. They have all the sabermetrics, exit velocity, pitch velocity. They even have release point location. So like for all the Mets fans that hate watching David Peterson struggle, if that game in Arizona on Wednesday afternoon, you could see his release point was all over the place. And when you look at any other game that he's been good, his release point is in a much tighter location.
area,
Same thing with
yeah.
Edwin Diaz. Same thing with Stroman. They have so many great resources on there just to get a really good insight of the game.
That's a good tool. But the thing I took away most from this conversation was I need to buy a legalized pine tar shirt from Trevor Bauer's
From
website.
Trevor Bauer.
That's awesome. I didn't know he sold those. I know he sold
Yeah.
other like shirts that are kind of like an FU to the league, but I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
So other topics here, because that was a healthy 15 minutes on Pine Tar and
Hmm.
stuff. Um, Cedric Mullins got he had, going into today's game, 7 hits and 7 straight at bats. He got it up to 9 straight. I have to check to see if he continued it, but at the last time I checked, he was 9 hits in his last 9 at bats.
So
How
I
insane is
believe
that?
insane. I think he got out in his last at bat of the game,
Ah,
and
that's so
like the
sad.
eighth inning or something. So he had gotten the 9 straight. He got walked his next 2 plate appearances,
Okay.
and then he like grounded out or something in the last his last plate appearance. But got in the last like 3 days, I think his average shot up from 280 to 322.
Yup.
Like
That's
ridiculous.
incredible.
Um, I hit a homer today. I think he had 2 homers last night, right?
Yep.
It's just the guy's been a machine.
He has been a
Um,
machine.
really, really, like came out of nowhere. He's been in Baltimore for 3 years now. Last year in the shortened season, 48 games, he had 271 with 3 homers and 4 doubles. But he can run, he can hit for power, um, and for average. Plays a pretty good center field. So this could be a cornerstone guy
And he was a guy
on
we
the
kind of
Orioles going forward.
overlooked for the American League
Yeah.
East preview. We were just kind of like, yeah, he's a guy. Like he's a center. He's
Yeah,
a breathing body with a
he's a,
pulse.
he's a center
Yeah.
fielder. Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like, all
Um,
right, well, this guy's a total G. This guy's
yeah,
so
I mean,
good.
they have like 3 legit hitters with now him, Mancini, and Santander.
Yeah.
That's like a solid 1, 2, 3. I mean, they have Mancini hitting second, which I would swap him with Santander.
Did you see your
Um,
boy John Means ended up on the injured list?
yeah, yeah, it's a huge blow for them because he's been the only guy
He's the
pitching for
only
them
pitcher they
recently.
got.
The only pitcher they got. Matt Harvey got broken the last time he faced the Mets. He's gonna face him again on Wednesday.
Love it.
Um, everyone else is terrible,
Terrible.
including the guys in the bullpen. So
No, they're bad.
good luck to them.
Yeah, listen, they'll be a team where you just show up to see if they can hit some home runs. That's it.
That's
That's
it. I
pretty
mean,
much it.
their 15-15 start saved them from probably losing 120 games,
Yeah, probably.
but they're
But
probably still gonna lose like 95.
I agree. Jesse Winker hit 3 home runs again today, and I
Yeah.
heard, I believe it was the Mets broadcast on MLB Tonight. This is the same day 4 years ago that Scooter Gennett hit 4 home runs for the Reds.
Really?
How crazy is that? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
that's
Um,
insane.
what I knew was that Jesse Winker's the first Red in history to hit 2 3 home run games in one season.
And they got
That's
some good
another big
players in
one too.
franchise history.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Nobody's
exciting.
ever done it twice in one season. I wonder the amount of people that have done it twice in one season on any team.
Yeah,
I don't know that number,
I don't know
but
that either.
that's definitely a good stat to look at. But
If
to
we
you
had a
is
research guy, that would
yeah.
be his job.
Is Jesse Winker your favorite right now for NL MVP?
Probably. It's close, but probably,
It's
yeah.
close. It's either him or DeGrom.
I just don't think a pitcher can win MVP
I
because he
I
plays
think
once a
so
week.
too. I feel that way, but if DeGrom puts like one of the most historical pitching seasons ever together this season, I think
He would have to
I
keep
think
his
he could.
ERA
I
where it
think
is
he
right
could.
now.
If he pitches to if like Bob like I people are saying chasing Bob Gibson. Would Bob Gibson had like a 1.4 ERA one season, I think. So if we did something like out of this world like that,
Yeah.
it,
They actually
it,
talked about
it
it on
could
the Met
it,
game before.
yeah.
Because they didn't think he was going to be able to do it. But then I think it was Cohen brought up, like, yeah, but he's not pitching 9 innings every game. Like, he pitches 6 or 7, they take him out. So, if he can avoid,
Yeah.
like, one of those games where he just, like, doesn't have it, which is not often, but he does have, like, one a year where he's just, like, horrendous.
He's avoided. I think
Yeah.
he had one this year where he only gave up. Like the start in Colorado.
Yeah.
Part of it was an Alonso error. And he gave up like 3 unearned runs or something like that. But he didn't really have his stuff that game. There was another game I feel like where he didn't really have it, and he only gave up 1 run.
It's always against
Um,
Philadelphia for whatever reason. Always.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm sure there'll be one more game this season where something just doesn't work out and he gives up 2 or maybe even 3 runs in a game. Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
But if he makes 30 starts this season, he's gonna hit 300 strikeouts.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
he's a machine.
Yeah, it's insane.
Speaking of machines, I mean, not really, but hey, Team USA
Yeah.
qualified for the Olympics. Listen, it's not players that are like on a 40-man roster right now, so it's pretty much just
Mhm.
like prospects and guys who used to be good in like 2012. Some notable players: Logan Forsythe, Todd Frazier, John Jay is on the squad. Haven't heard that name in
Yeah.
eternity. Edwin Jackson, Homer Bailey, who I'm actually surprised is not on a team right now because he was like pretty good the past 2 years.
Mhm.
And Matt Kemp still playing ball. Um,
Yeah.
so look, do you think Team USA, because obviously they're gonna have different players when they actually go to this
Yeah.
thing because they're trying to win. Do you think they actually
Yeah.
have a chance to win the gold medal or no? Because like
I
teams, I don't know if teams are gonna
honestly
let their best player go. Like you think they'd let DeGrom go? Like hell no.
no
Yeah,
way.
that's what I
No, no,
mean.
no, no,
So
no.
like all of our
Like
top players aren't gonna play.
I don't know who's gonna go because like, well, I knew about the no guys from 40-man rosters for the qualifier, but I thought that was also for the actual Olympics. So it's
I have
gonna
to look
be
into that.
it's in what, August or whatever, July.
I think
I had no idea
so.
when the Olympics even are going on. Um, I would feel like the no 40-man roster guys
Yeah, it's probably for
um
both.
would probably be for both, but I don't, like who knows? Because every country's gonna be down, guys.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't even know
true.
what countries qualified already besides the U.S.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, with those guys with the experience, I think with those guys with the experience they have enough veterans and enough like decent top 100 prospects that they could like, put a run together.
Yeah,
Um,
what guys should do is like if they have a superstar like American born player, like yeah, we'll loan you this guy for like a couple of
yeah,
weeks so he can get some ABs against some other good players.
exactly. Like I think it would be crazy if someone on like the 60-day IL was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go do a rehab assignment."
Rehab assignment
Like
for Team USA. I was gonna say
for
the
Team
same
USA
thing.
in Tokyo. Yeah.
They said Adam Jones was gonna like make the squad, but since he's playing in Korea or Japan or wherever he's playing, he's like not
Yeah.
eligible.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. He was a huge part of the World Baseball
baseball
Classic team that
classic.
won in
Yep.
2017.
Mm-hmm.
That was he made the he robbed who was it? Machado the home
I
run, I
think
think.
so. Yeah.
That was
With the worst
that was a
uniforms
crazy
ever,
game.
like that ratchet
Yeah.
dark gray. Oh, so
Those
bad.
uniforms are terrible, but
Yeah.
that was the best World Baseball Classic team they put together.
Yeah, I agree, hundred
I, I
percent.
I hope we get to see one of those two soon because that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. You're right. You're right. Um,
Especially and this one will have Tatis in it this year that the next time around for the DR, so that will be crazy.
well, all those guys always bring it. That was when Lugo like dyed his hair like bleach blonde
Yeah,
almost or whatever
yeah.
that
Well,
was.
and that's how he tore his UCL. He
That's
was
how he
carrying that
tore his
Puerto Rico team.
UCL. Yup. Oh, trust me, I know. My dad was very upset about that.
I was upset too.
um, but yeah, just wanted to throw that in there about Team USA.
Yeah.
So, onto some fantasy stuff. Unfortunately, I had our first miss on Beat the Streak last week because, of course, I took Fernando Tatis the day he got injured. He didn't play the full game. He didn't get a hit in his first at bat. So it's over.
Yeah.
But
I'm still on my roll though, so
Keith's
we're
still
good.
on his. On the bright side, Charlie Blackmon did get 2 hits. So if you went with the alternate not heavy guy, I still came through for you. So Keith, I'm gonna let myself go first here because you have a surprise
Thanks.
for our listeners here.
Yeah, I do.
So my beat the streak pick is going to be Andrew Benintendi against Dylan Bundy. Benintendi's been pretty good for the Royals this year, and he's a 333 career hitter against Bundy, and he has 25 plus plate appearances. So that's like a pretty decent
Yeah.
sample size.
That's a good sample size.
There's
So.
only like 4 games tomorrow, so there's like not much to pick from to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't love that pick, but out of my other options, that's where I'm going. So let me get some Andrew Benintendi lefty on righty.
Yeah. He's been good this year, so keep rolling with it. All right, so here's my surprise guy. The legend, Cubs legend, Patrick Wisdom. So this guy is the third player ever with 7 home runs in his first 8 starts with the team.
Hey, that's
Um,
incredible.
that's incredible. So 6 and 7 came today against the Giants, helped them win that game, avoid a sweep. He hit one yesterday. He hit one like 3 days ago. This guy is on fire. And tomorrow he's facing Ryan Weathers, I think. Lefty on the Padres. Wisdom was a righty, so you get the righty lefty matchup. Um, I think over the first like 13 games Wisdom's played between, starts and coming in the pinch hit, he's hitting over 400. Um, so, keep the stove hot. Let's keep
Keep this.
keep it
Let's
rolling.
go. That's right. And you got something else about Patrick Wisdom that you would also like to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so he's gonna be my pickup this week for Who's Your
Who's your
Randy.
Randy?
Yeah, the only owned in 19% of leagues right now, unless you have some crazy friend that picked him up last week when he hit like his first 3 home runs. Should still be available in your league, so keep an eye out for
Keith doubling up on Patrick Wisdom. Beat the
him.
streak and who's your Randy pick?
Yeah.
My who's my Randy pick is going to be Alex Cobb. So I actually wrote about him on the waiver wire column. And when I wrote about him, he was only owned in 8.5% of leagues because he was on the IL. It spiked to 22.1 after his pretty decent start the other day. He strikes out a lot of guys, and if you know me at all or listen to any Beak brand stuff or whatever, I'm a sucker for guys who strike people out. I just can't say no to them. Whether it was Freddie Peralta when he was bad, Danny Salazar
Yep.
when he was bad and good, now Alex Cobb. Like, if you strike out guys, sign me up.
Yep.
He goes relatively deep into games compared to like other pitchers. He gets to face the struggling Diamondbacks this week, so definitely sign me up
Hmm.
for that.
Oh
The
yeah.
only downfall to him is that if you play in a categories league, he walks a lot of guys.
Yeah, he does.
So category
No,
leagues, I don't know how
gotta
I
be
feel
careful with
about
that.
them. Yeah, points leagues, hell yeah. Let me get some Alex Cobb. Let me do it.
Yeah,
um,
definitely a good pick. My dad tried to use him against you this past week in fantasy,
oh, he
but
didn't try. He
almost
successfully used them. He just
yeah,
didn't win.
just didn't win. That's it.
So those are our whoa. Sorry, I was gonna say something just bugged on my computer right there. Yeah, you're gonna be frozen on the video for a second, but the people at home will
We're good.
understand. The people at
It's
home
all
will
good.
understand. Um, so my series of the week. Moving on here. There was a couple of
Hmm.
good ones. I'm glad I got to pick first this week. I'm gonna go Brewers and Reds. Reds just swept the Cardinals. They're one game under 500. We didn't really get to talk about this before because we're already running long here or getting to it. Um, but the Reds look like they might be coming back to life. Pitching is starting to finally
Yeah.
turn around. Brewers are currently in first place. So if the Reds want to make up even more ground in the division, this is a huge series to do it. Corbin Burns just pitched today, as in Sunday. So chances he pitches in the series slim to none, most likely none. I know there's like an off day on Monday and the series starts on Tuesday. I think it's a 4 game series, so depends how the Brewers want to like move their rotation around. Uh, but look, the Reds need this for not only the Brewers, but the Cardinals lost Jack Flaherty. He's on the IL. So the Reds can make up some ground on everyone that's ahead of them in the division if they could
Hmm.
win a couple of games against Milwaukee. So that's my pick.
Gonna be a huge series for them. They just gotta keep hitting and keep pitching like they have been, and they'll be fine.
Oh,
Pitching wasn't great today in that
no, no.
that game against the Cardinals.
They were
They
up
blew a
7
7 run
nothing.
lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Who do you got?
So, all right, yeah, my pick's gonna be NL East matchup: Braves against the Phillies. Um, Braves are a game under 500, 3 games back in the division. Phillies are 2 games under 500. Think they're 3.5 back in the division. Oh no, sorry, they're 4 back in the division. Um, so this is gonna be a chance for one of these teams to bury each other and uh, get closer to that first place spot. Um, the Mets have a tough schedule coming up with having to face the Padres again, and a lot of doubleheaders coming up at the end of the month. So this could be a chance for them to get some ground on the Mets and get ready for some future divisional matchups. I think Nola's gonna be the probable pitcher for Tuesday, and he's been either on or he is like
Yeah.
bad. But luckily for them, Wheeler's been like the fifth best pitcher in baseball this year. And he's
Don't
gonna go
remind
Thursday
me.
for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, me too. Um, so yeah, it could be a good matchup. Uh, Braves pitching has been terrible, so it's gonna be a slugfest. I think they're playing in Philly too, so
Small ballpark.
could
Sign me up.
yeah, could be a lot of homers.
Sign me up for that. And Bryce Harper's back, so
And Bryce Harper's back.
that's good. You get a little star power in there too with
Yeah,
Acuna and
exactly.
Ozzie Albies and
Exactly.
friends. Reese Hoskins quietly been on
Freeman.
fire the entire year.
Yeah, yeah.
So look, that's what me and Keith got for this week. A little tease for next week, but after I tell you that you need to follow Beak Brands on social media, you can follow me at Tim Ferdinand. He's at Keith Hernandez, 2Z's. Check out the website beakbrands.com. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, watch the video. I mean, crazy. And then if you're on Spotify or Apple, make sure you listen, subscribe, rate, review, follow, share, etc. If you could share to just one person, that would be beautiful because that person might like it and share it to another person. So whatever you can do to help us out would be great. For next week's show, what we're going to do is give some predictions, or it could be bold, could be not so bold, haven't decided yet, for our current All-Star starting lineup. Because we know the All-Star game is fast approaching, voting is open, and we've already seen people vote in like entire rosters 30 times over. So
Go vote in the replacements.
that's
Go
right.
go Nito, VR, Pilar, all those good guys.
So me and Keith are going to give some predictions for that. I think I have a pretty good idea of who's going to start the game for the National League, depending on how the rotation stacks up. But other than that, can you imagine going DeGrom to Corbin Burns? My God.
Filthy.
Filthy. So hopefully they both get the pitch in the game. I hope they both do.
I hope so.
But that's what me and Keith got for you next week. So until then, we are out of here.
Yep.